3 years is a long time. It's not a long time, but it's also a long time. 3 years ago over the summer, this channel was born. And what was initially meant to be a platform to learn how to edit and play games, which I did and still love, transformed into an outlet and eventually a professional avenue. It's so much has changed in my life from when this channel began to now, at almost every single level. I graduated again. I'm seeking jobs and careers, and I've learned a lot, obviously, of how to edit from whence we began. And a lot has come and gone, you know. I'm a bit neurotic. I think as a person I'm very strewn about. You know, I pick up and drop hobbies constantly. And in the past 3 years, there's been no surplus of things that I've dabbled in and not really seen through. You know, everything ranging from music to art to writing, you know, things that I want to keep getting better at and things that I keep practicing. But with everything that has changed in life, I'm still here in front of a microphone making videos. I don't really know what it is. I don't know why I'm always drawn to making videos. I love media. I always have. And I think in some level this has always given me an avenue, you know, a gateway into worlds that I can't quite reach. This was a stepping point. And I think I've gotten better at editing. You know, I can't be certain. But if it hurts to watch my old videos and, you know, my recent stuff, I think I'm a little proud of. That feels like progress. You know, I guess I would hope so, right? It's been 3 years. I don't know if I ever had a direction other than up. There was a point several months ago, and arguably at the start 3 years ago, that progress was something that genuinely stressed me out. You know? It's an experience I'm sure we all experience at some point in our lives where you're surrounded by people pursuing real careers or talents or hobbies, and you worry at some point that you're sinking time into the wrong things. On some level, I still feel out of it, you know, out of the current of life, because I'm still talking about video games and playing them. But there was a point where I was worried about growth. 1,000 is a big number. It's bigger than 3. Good one, Dro. Yeah, man. But 1,000 seemed insurmountable at the start. I was elated to even have hit 30, and after 2 years of the Mango Bowl, we broke 100, and that blew me away. That was ludicrous. I was like, that's 100 people. That's like a room full of them. And it's still big. But 1,000 was like this far away, distant goal, you know. I was like, maybe after 5 years, maybe after 8 years, you know, after a good few years of doing this, when I figure out what I'm doing and how to edit, I'll hit 1K. And then this year we hit 1K. Out of the blue. We blew past it almost to 2. And that was staggering. It still is. You know, I forget sometimes. I open up the channel again. I'm like, whoa, this is bigger than I'm used to. You know, there's this theory that if you have 1,000 true fans, you can survive off of doing whatever you want to do. You know, if you have a passion or a hobby, once you have 1,000 true supporters, you've made it. And everything about 1,000, especially on YouTube, on this platform, that felt like the breakthrough point. That's when YouTube acknowledges you. That's when monetization starts. That's when the algorithm starts to pick you up. That's when you hit those 1,000 followers. And it's not an abstraction anymore. Sorry, I feel like I'm still mulling over it, but I am. But more than just 1,000. I felt like, and this year especially, I felt like I was getting closer to the answer, you know? The reason that I picked all this up in the first place. The internet is daunting, you know? You kind of just throw yourself out there and the world will determine what is the value of your work, you know? It's a pretty do or die environment. And I don't really have other YouTubers that I know, but Twitch streamers and artists, like, I see my friends in a field that feels like a dog eat dog world, and I know that YouTube is no different. And so there's a pressure on your content, but there's also a pressure on you. And I think for most of my, I hesitate to call it a career, most of my time on YouTube, it wasn't something that, I didn't think that it was something that was weighing down on me. But every time that I went to record something, it felt like there was a barrier, you know, a filter, a disconnect between what I feel and what I've experienced, you know? Like, I can talk about a piece of media, you know, I could talk about a game that I played, and on some level it was kept at arm's length, you know? To not reveal pieces of my life, or my mind, or my health, or anything. And bit by bit, this year, it felt like I was chipping away at that. You know? It's like a lake, you know? I reached in to scoop up water with my hands, but for a lot of the stuff I've made, I was afraid to dive in. And little projects here and there, they let me push those limits. Whether it was in terms of trying to push myself to learn something new, or to really dig into a feeling. And I want to do more of that, you know? I want to make something meaningful. Or at least something I'm proud of. And I've made strides towards that. But, you know, I'm not going to kid you guys. I've definitely made a lot of bad videos. I'd argue that they helped me make good videos, but it's a pendulum, you know? It's a line. It's always been treading a line between what I feel like are the two halves of my brain, which is just unhinged, unrelenting, uncontrollable, you know, spew, outlet, ventilation, just an exaltation of the kind of thoughts and the kind of mind and the kind of person, arguably, that I am. And on the other end of that spectrum is that desire that I have to polish things and to flesh out my thoughts and have time to mull and to ponder and to find meaning within the work for myself, you know? Not just in concept, but in creation. And I know that, you know, this is all whatever. This is just obviously like stuff for me to figure out. But that's the thing, you know? I feel like I'm getting closer to that, you know? I'm working towards figuring it out. I always have been. But yeah. I'm old now. I mean, I'm not old, but, you know, I can no longer live under the guise of youth, I guess. In the technical sense. I'm not getting into this. Here's to another good year. And I hope to make more content that I'm proud of and that means something to me. And for all of you that have been here a long time, a short time, it really doesn't matter, you know? You're part of this journey now, you know? Unfortunately for you, I have now entered your consciousness. I am now an entity that you know exists. I am a voice in your head. Um, and as someone that was the viewer and is now the creator, I realize now more than ever that having people in your corner, that means something, you know? So I'm thankful. Genuinely. I don't think I would have kept making videos if it wasn't for the support of a few, you know? I think I could count to on one hand the people that kept me going when I was under 50, under 100, under 500, under 1,000 now. And it was all those little chants, you know, those little pushes, you know? I won't even lie to you. It was Blue Pug. I don't even know if you're still here, man. You were the guy. You were always around. You were still pushing us forward, and that meant something. And like I notice the reoccurring people, you know, the reoccurring faces is just, it means something, okay? that's what I'm rambling about. So I'm sure the reason that I'm still here making videos is a mix of everything that I've mentioned and everything I haven't. But I'm here and I'm glad to be here, you know. I'm really excited for the future. There's going to be big changes and small changes for the channel in these coming months. It'll be a little bumpy at first. I'll be a little busy for a while, but there's a lot coming next year and a lot that's ending this year that I'm just looking forward to. 3 years. I really like the number 3, by the way. It's completely irrelevant, but yeah. Thank you, all of you, and I can't wait to see where this will go. I don't plan on kicking. I don't plan on giving up just yet, you know. It's funny, right? Because I know that 1,000 is a small number, but that number feels gargantuan. Do you know how big? Like I don't know if you get it. Like I started this little collection of data on the internet 3 years ago at 0. Like I said, 1. You know, I haven't subbed to myself yet. I feel like I should get on that. Fuck, man. 3 years. 3 years of my life. Whoa. And now we're at... God, yeah. Dude, I'm still not done with 1K. How are we at 2? I'm gonna stop now. If I keep going... 1,000, man. You know, that's for my fellow insomniacs out there, 1,000 is usually a number I count backwards from, you know? If I'm super restless and I can't sleep, I count backwards from 1,000. And it takes a while, you know? It's kind of a big number. Like, obviously, like, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to go higher and count backwards from there. But it's a big number. What the fuck? Now, insomnia is making me think about... You know, I don't think I would have a channel if it wasn't for insomnia on some level. And mental illness, you know? So here's to that. I've got a cup of tea. Here's a clink. Cheers to that. Drink to the people that we are and the people that we will be in another 2 years. 5 will be the next big celebration, alright? That's another number I like as much as 3. What is up with me making videos and I'm always calm? And the more time I talk, my brain gets like choo-choo-choo-choo, and then... Fuck. Now this is fitting, you know? This is how it's always been. Alright. I'm gonna let you guys go now, for real this time. Thanks for tuning in. Now and always, it's yeah. Take care. Stay hydrated. And I hope to see you all in another year. Au revoir. And thank you.